So I am Aruna Suresh and a retired principal of a CBSE school. I've got some 12 years of experience as a principal. Right now, I'm retired, a volunteer in Tare Social, an organization for senior citizens. And I am a guide in Get Set Up, an online community for senior citizens. And I am a volunteer trainer for Vimukti Sanstha, which is running for slum girls in Jaipur. And I am a course developer in Educo High, and I am a podcaster and, of course, a YouTuber also. These kind of platforms are an incredible opportunity for all of us to share our strategies, innovative approaches with each other for the benefit of the students, as well as it is going to be beneficial for the education world too. I'm very confident by using data-driven decision-making processes and engaging in critical dialogues about our personal approaches towards education, the purpose of today's meeting will be achieved. I am so happy that you all have joined, and I'm so sure we are going to have an interactive, collective brainstorming session. And today's topic is a paradigm shift in education, NEP 2020. The whole world is so hyper about this word NEP 2020. Some say it is old wine in new bottle, and some say there is nothing new in it. And some say everything in this is totally new. And some has the opinion that whatever you do, nothing could change the education system of India. But I strongly believe if the change maker is so sure about the implementation, then anything and everything can be possible in education world. So before jumping into the session completely about the shift in the education and NEP 2020, I just want to ask you a question: why there should be a change in the education system right now? What is the need? Everything is going on so smoothly. Now, at the same time, I will put up a question also. Do you know which version of Apple iPhone is recently launched? See, it is 16th version. 2 months back when I was having a session, it was 14th version. Right now, it is 16th version, and definitely might be in the next month, it will launch its 17th version. Now, when we check our education system, when we look back into the history of our education system, then in 1968, under Srimati Indira Gandhi ji, the new education policy was launched with the radical restructuring of the system and focusing mainly on the child education. Now, after that, under Rajiv Gandhi's tenure, again, it underwent a change. He launched the Blackboard operation, and he was also focusing on, primary focus was on the mandatory education of children. Now, in 1992, when Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao ji was the Prime Minister, he did amend few things in the national education policy, but it was not a new education policy, restructured. Now, in 2020, 29th July, this document was unveiled by the government of India, that is NEP 2020. Now, literally speaking, we are in the third version of education policy. See, right now, access to knowledge is not only inside the classroom, it happens all around using technology and internet. When I was growing up, I was having plenty of time and I could stop and I can be curious about something and then I start learning. But right now, the world is moving much, much faster. We actually need to keep up the pace with that speed Otherwise, we will be stamped outdated. Almost every country, the education system is designed for an outdated world, because the speed is that way. We improve ourselves, and again something very big improvement happen in the education system. So there is definitely a need for NEP 2020. Now, inside a classroom, this need is as much necessary as it is to change a damaged blackboard to a green board, then to a white board, then to a smart board, might be in future some another board. Every school, in front of the school, they will be having a bulletin board with all the circulars, notifications, achievers, star performers, everything in the board. But it doesn't remain the same throughout the year. It keeps on changing. As the performers change, as the star performers change, as the notifications are new, when office orders are new, everything will be changed from time to time. So there is a definitely need for the education system to undergo a tremendous change. And I hope this NEP 2020 will definitely make a great transformation in the education system of India. So that answers the question, that is why NEP 2020. Now let us talk about what is NEP 2020. You all know that is new education policy announced in 2020, and it is actually promising that this will make a great transformation in our education system, and it definitely has a great potential to do the same also. It actually focuses on 21st century skills. Right now, the challenges which we are facing in this education system is not similar with which is some decades before. Previously, when we will be facing challenges from the students are, somebody has stolen my pen, pencil, book or something. Somebody has torn my book, or somebody is beating me. These kind of issues where we were facing it before. But right now, the challenges are too high, and we need to make our students to be ready to face those 21st century challenges, and they have to focus on developing the 21st century skills too. I do remember one incident. One of my students, when I was a principal, came to my room and she was telling that, "Ma'am, tomorrow onwards, I will not come to school." When I asked why, the child took out a piece of paper and showed it to me. That paper was having a message that, "Do not interfere with me, otherwise I will kill you." And the child has written the name also. He is not bothered about the consequences also. Now, actually, when we had to do quite a lot of counseling to both. And what we found out was so shocking, that the matter was so simple. This child is a newly admitted child, and that boy is an old student and who was always in the limelight. And when this girl came, she is a topper, and she actually stole all the limelight from the teachers. Now this boy felt isolated and degraded, and he thought, if I remove this girl from my area, then I will be able to gain that limelight once again. See, understand what a simple struggle and what kind of solution the child is finding out, because they are not ready to take up challenges and face the struggle and not giving up and standing in front of the child and gain his limelight again. So only I say that this kind of policy changes are essential at this point of time. Now, you also know that within 20 minutes, what NEP 2020 document could not be explained or discussed in detail, but then definitely we can discuss about the highlights of it. So it actually has built up in 5 pillars. That is, one is accessibility, the other one is equity, the other one is quality and affordability and accountability. The document actually ensures in each and every area, these 5 pillars are taken care of. Now, the major changes which actually we had taken, I mean, we could find in this document. The first and major change is the Ministry of Human Resource Development now will be called as Ministry of Education. Now, the next one will be, we'll see that the old curricular and pedagogical structure was 10+2 and 2 years of 11 and 12 age criteria, 16 to 18 years, and remaining 10 years, that is class 1 to 10, and which caters to the age of 6 to 16 years was the previous structure. And the new curricular pedagogical structure has undergone a great change, that is 5+3+3+4. And the early years caters to age 3 to 8 years. That means preschool and classes 1 and 2 are covered in this area. And the stage is called as foundational stage. And the next stage is actually the primary stage, that is 3 years. Again, the classes 3 to 5, and the age group is 8 to 11 years. When in the previous foundational stage, the teaching methodology will be completely activity-based, fun-based, exploration-based, discovery methods, and less focus on writing part, but more focus on play-way method learning. And in 3 to 5, the children will be introduced to languages, and then science, maths, and art and craft and physical education. Here, the pattern will be somewhat activity-based only, but then here the introduction to foundational literacy and numeracy skills will be introduced. And the next is called as the middle stage, where it caters to 6 to 8 standard, age 11 to 14 years, and 3 years again. And in this area, like coding is being introduced, and vocational skill, that is like a child can take up one vocational skill and can become an expert in 3 years, and in case future, if the child wants to continue it, they can continue. And it is also introduced some 10 bagless days also at this stage, wherein this vocational skill can be developed, plus other extracurricular activities can also be developed using those 10 bagless days. Now, the next comes the 4 years, that is 9 to 12, age 14 to 18 years. Here, the children will be taught to choose the subjects from a pool of subjects. Previously, it is from the stream of subject. Now, the children are provided with flexibility in choosing the subjects from a pool of subject. That means even if a child is who is taking physics can also opt for journalism or else economics. So this is one important change. There may be implementing struggles will be there, but then this is one of the area which has brought a great change in the national education policy. Now, if you see at school level, what are the changes brought in? Now, it actually gives universal access of schooling, that is the accessibility. Any child can take up schooling from class nursery till 12th standard. And at the age of 3 to 8 years, early childhood care and education is given more focus on. Definitely the teachers, those who are going to take up this level, will have to actually unlearn many things and then relearn many things. They need to undergo massive training to become qualified to handle this area for giving early childhood care and education. Then the mother tongue, there is one debate going on in national education policy. It is said that the medium of instruction can be preferably in mother tongue or regional language or else local language. And it actually says preferably, and it can continue till 8th standard. The benefit is many times when a child is learning in English, if the child does not understand the concepts properly, but at the same time, if it is taught in mother tongue, then the concept will be made much, much clear to them. But it is not said that English is not to be taught, because there are concerns. People, the stakeholders actually are concerned that how will they learn the universal language English. It is not that way. English is neglected or rejected and then taken up mother tongue or regional tongue. It is said that preferably this will be good if the concepts are made very clear. Then, as I said before, integration of vocational education from class 6 onwards is being introduced, and financial literacy, coding is also being introduced. And in vocational courses, a child can choose gardening, carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, all those things. And the school can tie up with the local experts of this vocational languages and then can give importance. Then there is no hard separation between arts and science, between curricular and extracurricular, and then between vocational and academic stream. The equal weightage will be given to every area. So even when a person chooses vocational education for further studies also will not be put into pressure of low self-esteem or kind of thing. It will take quite a lot of time to take up this mindset, but when this first step is taken, definitely this can go further. Now, if you talk about the college level, what is the changes? The one thing which is very good is academic bank system with credit points. The child, if a child leaves the college for some reasons, his academic bank system will store his credit point and he can continue it when he continues at later part of his life. This is one thing which is very good. And then they have actually discontinued MPhil. That means if a candidate has taken 4 years degree course, that is multidisciplinary bachelor's course, then the child can directly go to PhD without doing MPhil. Then it also proposes a 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's degree with multiple entry and exit. So if a student does the first year course and leaves, then he will get a certificate. Second year, he will get a diploma. And third year, he will get a bachelorate degree. And fourth year, that will be a multidisciplinary research degree. Then the common entrance examination, like right now, previously it was that way. Every college has its own entrance examination. The students have to face quite a lot of pressure undergoing all these entrance examinations. Now everything will come under one umbrella, which is a common entrance examination for higher studies, except for professional degrees. Then local universities are facilitated to go to global, and also other famous popular universities of foreign countries are facilitated to enter India. So there will be a mixed group of students who will be actually looking forward to these kind of changes. Now, when a child actually comes out of school after undergoing this NEP 2020, after this execution, the child will be undergone activity-based learning, and also the child would have learned the mother tongue and then multidisciplinary study, and the child will not have exam fear because examination reforms also have been done. Now the exams will be based on competency-based examination, which has actually started implementing in the recent board examination. The child will be knowing coding. The child will know one foreign language as per the 3 formula policy, and the child will be familiar with the local language, mother tongue, or regional language. And then the child would have undergone experiential learning. And then the NEP policy is focusing on shifting from rote learning to smart learning. So I think, Praveena ma'am, should I close it?
Yeah, ma'am, we have some question lined up if you want to.
Okay, I'll take up. So this is how NEP 2020, if it is executed in the proper full commitment and in the spirit of the document, then definitely the India can become a super knowledge country in the world. And that's all from my desk. And thank you so much. I'll stop sharing my PPT so that I can take up the questions which are lined up.
Yes, please close the PPT and expand your camera screen, please.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to say thanks for coming on our platform, and the way you said the India. So I wish, it is the India only in
My
future.
pleasure.
So, ma'am, the first question is, what made you choose to talk about the NEP 2020? What made you choose to talk about NEP 2020?
See, when this was introduced, I know everybody, as it was the buzzword of the education world, everybody was running here and there to find out what is NEP 2020. The same way, I also tried to attend so many webinars, meetings, and attended principals meetings, all those things. And I had gathered everything about NEP 2020. Now, I am so inclined towards that if this is not remaining as only document, and if it is executed properly, definitely a great transformation will happen to our country's education system, which will definitely benefit our country. So right now, I have been doing sessions on NEP 2020. I am visiting different places like Lucknow, Bhopal, Indore kind of places to share my views about NEP 2020. And I strongly focus on the implementation part of NEP 2020.
Good to know, ma'am. How does NEP affect teachers, ma'am?
At this point of time, the teachers will be greatly benefited out of this if it is properly implemented. Why? Because massive training needs are there, because we have been following a pattern for such a long period of time, and it has got registered in our mind. And when we have to change something, then we need to first be aware of what are the changes, and then be aware of how and how could we do the changes needed inside the school and the classroom. So for that, the teachers needed to be trained to make them aware of NEP 2020, what does it says and what it has in store for the teachers. So the teachers will be getting quite a lot of learning out of this NEP 2020.
Thank you. So does NEP have ethics in education?
Pardon?
Does NEP have ethics in education?
NEP has?
Ethics.
Definitely, yes. Definitely, yes. Because any education policy, what we strongly believe is ethics actually comes from school. So definitely, in case if education policy is being redefined, definitely it has some valid points for ethics also.
Okay. Is mother tongue compulsory in NEP, ma'am? You already spoke about.
As I said in my session also, I said that yes, it is actually not made mandatory. Like many stakeholders are frightened or having concerns that if we are into this mother tongue teaching, we will be rejecting English. The child will not be able to learn English as he is doing it right now. Now, I will ask a question that at the early stages only, the children will be able to catch up new things very easily. So, in case with English, if mother tongue is also included as a bilingual method of teaching, it is not going to affect the English learning, and this will make the students to understand the concepts in a better way.
Right, it's already there, right, ma'am? The second language option, right?
No, it is not actually. It is never ever second language is mentioned here. It is actually the medium of instruction during the class hours will be by using mother tongue regional language that way.
Oh. Oh. So what does NEP does not promote, ma'am?
Rote learning.
Okay.
It is actually focusing on practical oriented learning, where the theory learning has been reduced and the concept learning is promoted. So rote learning definitely is not promoted.
Okay. So what are human values in NEP?
If you ask human values, now integration of art and like art education, integration of sports education, all these have a special human value involved in that. Why people play, are promoted to take up sports? Why? Because on field, they will be learning the sharing kind of thing, taking failure as a normal thing, and then participation is important. Success is not important. They are allowed to respect failure. And failure doesn't mean that you have to sit back and sulk. Failure means it is one step towards the success. So you should not take it. So when NEP is focusing on all these kind of integrated education, it actually promotes the values.
Yes, ma'am. So what is the impact of NEP on higher education?
That is, I have discussed in a clear way. The one thing is the fee cap, which has introduced, will help the community who is not able to afford for a higher education will be easy possible. And the multiple entry and exit system will definitely help a student because of his family's situation. If he is not able to continue the education, he doesn't have to remain the same throughout his life. He can enter back when the condition is better, and then he can continue his studies. And then definitely students can go for like the universities which had come from the foreign. That is also one thing. The 4-year interdisciplinary course, which is after immediately allowing the child to go for PhD, these are all benefits of the higher education, for the higher education.
The MPhil is not
MPhil is discontinued, yes.
Yes, ma'am. So what is you have already spoke about the topic, but again, since the question is placed here, I'll read out that question to you. What is the concept of paradigm shift and what is the role of the teacher in paradigm shift?
See, like if you talk about role of the teacher, 99% depends on them only. Reason being, they may undergo any trainings, any courses, anything. They may attend webinars and everything. They can hear it and they can just like that keep it within them also. Or else they can execute it inside the classroom. The paradigm shift can be executed only if the leader of the school and the teacher execute it properly in the real spirit of the NEP 2020. If it is not done, then the whole system actually crashes. So I believe strongly, like it is one thing, the leader should take care of how to implement NEP 2020 inside the school. And when it seeps down, because when a leader gets to know from various places about NEP 2020 execution, the leader will seep down all those things to the teachers, and actually it is the role of the teachers to execute NEP 2020 inside the classroom. So I strongly believe if they do not carry it to the classroom, how will we implement NEP 2020?
Right, ma'am. So you have spoken about your connection with the NGO and the work you do for old age people. These two questions, the last two questions we have, these are related to that. So what is the role of NGOs for old age people?
Like there are many NGOs which are taking care of senior citizens. Now, the NGOs which I had spoken about, it is their children are away from them, and they are in Australia, Canada, and different places, and they have quite a lot of time with them, not knowing what to do. Old age doesn't mean they are all sick, they are all not able to move, they are all not able to understand. They have the potential to learn technology. They have the potential to teach people. They have the potential to extend their own career services. But only thing is they lack opportunities. Now, when I talk about this Tari Social, it's an online meeting where a group of senior citizens whose children are not with them, they are all alone, they have plenty of time. What do? Is they come together at one point of time, they do yoga, they do learn about technology, and they do have some fun sessions and TED talks and all those like child pay charcha, all those things are there, and they keep themselves engaged and busy to feel not to left out. The other organization which I spoke about, Get Set Up, it's an organization it actually teaches senior citizens about anything and everything. Throughout the day, they get so many sessions, 1 hour sessions. They teach cooking, they they learn cooking, they learn fitness, they learn technology, they learn YouTubing, podcaster, everything. There are sessions, people volunteer to teach them freely, and those people are benefited out of that. And I expect, like, many people will be against old age homes, but my personal opinion, if you ask me, if the children are away, and if the senior citizens cannot live alone at home, and if they are kept in a old age home, what happens there is they have a community to interact with, they have some timeline to work something, and they have a proper schedule, what makes them happy and leads to a joyful life. That's it from my list.
Nice to know, ma'am. Nice to know. It's a very good information. And I think being very practical also about old age home, like the minute we hear about, sending your loved ones there, we won't feel comfortable. But like, as you have explained, that it has its
Yes.
own also. Yes. So I think this question is from a parent for her child, or a student has posted, I don't know. What are the benefits of volunteering in for older adults? I think like for NGOs who take care of older adults.
Pardon, once again.
The question is, what are the benefits of volunteering older adults? I think old age people.
Like, if you ask me, the joy of being with them. That's it.
That's
like, if you because many of the senior citizens like this kind of platforms actually invite senior citizens to be active with them and interact with them and get some knowledge and get some joy out of it. It does not provide anything. There is no monetary benefit out of it. It is just a kind of, you can say, return gift to the society.
Right, ma'am. I think it increases it makes them know the value of empathy, being empathetic.
Very true.
Very necessary for growing children, right? That cuts down the bullying part also in school. If they know the importance of being empathetic towards each other, I think, so many problems will get solved at that age too.
And the world may turn into a very beautiful place to live in.
Exactly, ma'am. So it was wonderful talking to you and School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk, ma'am, and for patiently answering all the questions. We also thank the audience for participating in the event. We will end the session now. Have a great day.
The pleasure is all mine. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed the session and answering the questions too.
Yeah, I did enjoy the session and the questions as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.